GM, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Monday Night Football is over. We got to see, it was a tale of two halves, isn't quite right, but we could definitely divide the games into two parts. We had the part where we thought that Caleb had turned everything around and was a league winner, and JJ McCarthy was being traded. JJ McCarthy was being traded. Kirk Cousins was coming back to the Vikings to save them. And that's what did I just press? I just hit a weird button. But all that's been wiped away. JJ McCarthy is back. Our Jefferson bags have been saved. If we're worried about anyone, it's really Adam Thielen, who did essentially nothing. I'm mildly worried about Hawkinson. Didn't love the usage. Thought there'd be a little more security blanket leaning there. But McCarthy looking good. Rising tide lifts all boats, as they say. So a very, very interesting game for me. DJ Moore, not in the doghouse. DJ Moore quite involved in that game. I think if you're a DJ Moore rosterer, you're definitely encouraged by what you saw. He really did look like an alpha. If you're a Rome Odunze fan, he looked great out there too. He scored a late touchdown, which I think swung a lot of people in the eliminator. I know I lost a couple eliminator teams when that went through. I've got 29 of 45 advancing, so a pretty good advance rate, around 65%. Happy with that. But Rome Odunze, I think, chopped a couple of my teams into seventh without a commensurate rise in any of my other ones. Let's see other stuff from that. Luther Burden really was not involved. Zacchaeus really currently does have that wide receiver 3 position in Chicago. We'll obviously see how long that lasts. It does. This is not unexpected, but then when the expected thing happens, we do tend to overreact. But kind of a fun game, kind of a weird game. It did not seem fun until the end. Of course, Ben Johnson taking a lot of criticism for his clock management at the end, doing something that, I do think that NFL coaches should be required to play, 3 years of a dynasty Madden season to prove they know how to manage the clock. Because I swear, just basic clock stuff continues to elude these coaches. And I know stone zero about how to actually X's and O's, a football team, but I do know when to call timeouts. I do know when you should, kick it through the back of the end zone or kick it out of bounds, so you save the 2-minute warning. Like, these are rudimentary things that we continue to see, these coaches paid millions of dollars don't get that. Or I think teams should just have a clock coach whose job literally is just to stand there and tell the coach, hey, timeout. That I think, these teams pay millions of dollars for nonsense. They should just pay some, college intern, $20 an hour to stand there and just tell the coach to call a timeout. Like, I think that would be worth a win a year to some of these teams. But anyway, that's just me. This is a dog bowl, by the way. If you want to hop in a dog bowl, we're waiting for 3. These are a little slow to fill. I joined this about 5 minutes before the stream started, and we were waiting for 6. So we'll see. I might just hop in a regular BR. Joel, GM to you. Thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. As always, Greg, GM Candles and Friends. Hey, Greg, GM to you. The trade winds are already blowing. The rumors swirling, and the newest rumor was that the Steelers were sniffing around looking for Tyreek Hill. Now, I don't think Tyreek Hill would be super happy playing in Pittsburgh. I have a really hard time imagining him in black and yellow, but you never know. I also feel like DK Metcalf might not be happy. So that, to me, is not the landing spot that I would expect, but you never know. You never know. Honestly, right now, the Dolphins do look like the worst team in the league. So it could save our bags. Aaron Rodgers was able to support Wilson and Adams. They were both 1,000-yard receivers last year. So, it is possible. It is possible that would actually be an upgrade, because it does seem like there'd be very little downgrades right now for Tyreek Hill. We're down to waiting for 2. Let's see. BBM. I don't believe BBMDB has advance rates up quite yet. I don't think they have that up, but we'll see if that becomes something that they get are able to scrape from the API, or if anything like that changed. Of course, the big news yesterday was the Tank Bigsby trade. Honestly, for me, this was kind of a disaster. I have around 12% Bigsby and 12% Shipley, and that I think this is just a net negative for both of them. Now we are, now we need something to happen to Saquon, which creates other problems because I have a lot of Saquon. So most people, I mean, I'm at market. I don't want to lose all my Saquon teams just to save guys that I'm slightly over market in. This was bad. I I made the bet against Etienne, and apparently I am willing to say that was not right. Etienne, yeah, I have 7 Etienne teams for 5.7 share percent in BBM. So not a stone fade. Not a stone fade. I kind of learned my lesson last year. There's very few guys I wanted absolutely zero of, especially those in ambiguous situations. And he was one of them. I put my chips in, and the croupier just swept in and took them all away. Greg noting the problem was we need more than one wide receiver. They shipped out their wide receiver one for wide receiver one. It seems weird, but I guess I could see it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could work. I mean, you know, with respect to Calvin Austin, I'm not sure there, would be would be too much of a too many tears shed for the wide receiver two in Pittsburgh. So it could work. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is willing to push the ball, I mean that offense, the Jets defense was not meant to be bad. I mean, they looked good. They looked good. And if Rodgers has one more go in him, I mean, he looked like a statue last year, but he also was coming off an Achilles injury. Those things can take a couple years to heal. And I don't expect him to be like spry, but if he has ever so slightly more mobility, I mean, could it could be work. It could work. I mean, again, I was taking a lot of Steelers or Rodgers teams because he was essentially free in drafts, and right now that's not looking like a terrible bet there. But we'll see what happens with the running back room. Kenny Gainwell usage there was slightly alarming. I knew Kenny Gainwell was going to be a problem. He's just such an Arthur Smith running back, just like one of those annoying players that everyone hates in fantasy, but coaches like. And Arthur Smith loves those just like not good fantasy running backs who are just going to usurp touches from us. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. Our Caleb bags are looking a little dicey. I don't think the thesis was he would be complete zero early on. I think it was like he would be the 2 to Warren and then eventually the loaded shift. Well, now he's like the 3 by like a lot. And I think Gainwell is good enough to like keep doing what he's doing. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Greg says Calvin lives in his own island, resident Calvin Austin. Well, I don't think this. Yeah, I would be surprised if Tyreek actually went to Pittsburgh, but it would be bad for Calvin Austin. It'd be worse for Roman Wilson. The Roman Wilson bet would just go to utter zero. Darkside Dev, GM2, thanks for coming in. This is a dog bowl. We're just was hoping to get this one to fire and then roll in, but otherwise, we'll run some BRs and chop that up a little bit. Kevin Buenos, Kevin in the Discord. I'm going to victory lap. I don't victory lap much, people. You know this about me. I don't tweet bets often, but last night I tweeted out that I thought JJ McCarthy at plus 550 anytime touchdown was a good bet. He's a mobile quarterback. They haven't seen him yet. I thought that was a good price for someone with rushing upside. And guess what? It looked bad all game, but it only takes one. And so I did post that. Kevin, you made fun of me. You made fun of me for my McCarthy anytime touchdown bet, but it got home. So I hope you made fun of me and then you tailed. So we will see. Dark Side Dev, Tesla looking good. Yeah. Oh God, he hit my lineup receivers for bad. Well, Tesla, I believe he played 3 snaps, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And he scored a touchdown. Coach came out and said he would get some more snaps. Obviously it's not hard to get that many more than 3, but I think like every time Reynolds is on the field, it means Tesla is not, and that seems bad. Like you got to think that Tesla is going to take that job. I mean, what an incredible catch. Like he has just made the most of every opportunity he's been on the field in preseason and now in the NFL. So I got to think that Tesla is going to be a bigger part of that going forward. Kevin says, congrats. I went to bed in the third, so I'm glad my jinx wore off. Happy it hit. Kevin, I know. I appreciate it. I'm just giving you a hard time. It looked pretty grim, but again, the thesis really was that I don't think that the books had priced in the fact that he can scoot a little, and that was a designed run. It wasn't just a play broke down and he scrambled. I mean, they did draw that up for him. So I was happy to hit that. It did save my showdown night because I did some showdown lineups that did not cash. Jakes has been waiting in one afternoon playbook for an hour. I have a I don't play the morning and afternoon slate. Why are you specifically trying to get in an afternoon playbook? Is there somebody that's just like you've just locked in on the afternoon slate? I love the idea that you could be like a afternoon you could be like an afternoon BR specialist. Like you don't play the main slate, you just like lock in on the values in the afternoon. Like maybe that really is an edge because I feel like people that play those are just aping and stuff. So I don't know, Jake. I'm into that though. Greg says Caleb looked a little weird out there, but man, the positive rushing TD regression is going to hit. Oh, the positive rushing. Are you talking, Greg? I'm not sure if you mean like him not getting that touchdown late, like he's going to scramble and get more because he almost had two. Dark Side Dev Caleb was getting those touchdowns for sure. Yeah, I was a little annoyed because that cost me when that last touchdown turned into a throwing touchdown from a rushing touchdown. I was a little surprised that he ran as much as he did. I knew he had that in his bag, but I was surprised to see that. He had 500 rushing yard touchdowns. Oh, with 0 rushing. Jeez Louise. Okay. Yeah, that's that that feels like a little bit of run bad. That feels like a little bit of run bad on the on not scoring there. I think Greg says, I think we're getting 5+ rushing TDs this year. Well, I mean, he almost hit 2 last night. Like he was down at the half-yard line on that second one. So definitely could see that. Let me get a little night driving. Maybe that's what we need to lure in one more for a dog bowl. Okay, hold on. All right. Trying to get one more person in here. Let's see. Send out the alarm in the Deposit Kingdom channel. Ship chasing. One more for dog bowl. Wally. All right. Let's see. We're still waiting for one. If you want to hop in, it could be you. I guess in the future, I realize I probably will fire some BRs, some regular BRs if this is not like waiting for 2 when I hop in, because I did think that this was going to fill, but we will see. If we look at the ADPs on this one, just real early on, Lamar, Allen, Hurts. So this has spread out a little bit. The initial ADPs of these had Lamar and Allen. I believe they were both in the top 4. So elite quarterback is kind of pushed out a little bit. Jalen Hurts, all the way at 10. That means he will occasionally wrap into the second round. And then after that, it just goes off a cliff. And you're really just looking at stacking partners. Justin Fields, his ADP kind of lines up with Garrett Wilson at 33, which means if you're doing these, you're going to see that combination done occasionally over here on this side of the board. I think that might give you a little bit of uniqueness if you're willing to make that bet over here at pick 24 and 25. It is, of course, possible that you could get it at 48, 49, but I think Fields, with his rushing upside, is likely to get snapped off. But occasionally these guys will fall, because if you take, if early on you're taking, say, a Brian Thomas, you're taking an Amon-Ra, you might just get locked into saying, okay, this is a T-Law team, this is a Goff team. And then so sometimes you will have people kind of like scout out their quarterback, and then they'll pass on a Fields even if they're falling. So you might be able to get Fields on the left side of the board. I think it's just going to be a little bit differently. I think it's going to get paired with a lot of these players rather than the very early running back. So we'll see if that is how it goes. And maybe later in maybe later in the week, I will look to pull up someone like a Fields, because it is possible that Bills-Jets game shoots out. Now, I obviously have a little bit of worry that we kind of saw just the sort of ceiling from the Jets, but we did just see the Bills involved in a shootout. It is possible their defense isn't great, but who knows? It could also be that the Ravens are so good they could score that much against anybody. Hard for me to know, but I do know it's a game I want exposure to. Allen and Fields, they do seem like guys we're going to want pieces of in that game. Mahomes has become kind of interesting. Last night, I tried to get a Mahomes, and gosh, I don't even want to say it out loud, a Mahomes Hollywood Brown team. I took Mahomes at, I believe it was 44, and I was hoping Hollywood would come at 53. Nez was in the one hole, and Nez, I'm not blaming Nez, I'm just using Nez to say that he took Hollywood at 49, meaning that, one of the sharper players in the industry is in on Hollywood Brown, which is, I hate the Hollywood Brown bet. I don't think he's very good, but he really kind of is last man standing right now as their wide receiver 1. So he's going to be a somewhat common stacking partner with Fields, especially again. He kind of lines up if I hadn't have taken Mahomes, I wonder if Nez would have taken him at 48, 49. So that's going to be a somewhat popular thing to do there. Skeletor, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate you as always, Skeletor. Darkside Dev, Jets played well against one of the best defensive teams in the league. That was a good sign for their offense. Yeah, I have large bags of Fields in best ball. I'm pretty thrilled about that. I was taking Garrett Wilson hand over fist. So right now I'm pretty happy. We'll see. Week one sometimes, week one could sometimes be the outlier. Sometimes, if teams are doing new stuff, coaches get taped, they can adjust. But I thought the overreaction of preseason was absolutely bonkers. We know what Fields is. We know he's going to be a little bit up and down. But when Fields is rolling, there are very few fantasy quarterbacks who can keep up with him. Easy, GM to you. GM, I saw you are trying to get this filled, so I know you are in these streets. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, Easy. I hope to see you in Kansas City. Just maybe not via this particular draft where we are going head to head. But yeah, good luck, Easy. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Really appreciate it. Greg asking, who's my favorite late round running back pick? That's a good question. I think the cat might be out of the bag on Etienne. 42 in the dog bowl. To me, that's pretty nice as kind of a late, if you end up going early wide receiver. I like him there. He's basically free in the 6-mans. He doesn't get drafted every time, I don't think. Travion against that Dolphins defense that looked god awful. I can't say Javonte is my favorite, but I think he's clickable, but we're starting to get a little dicey there. I was taking DeAndre Swift in BRs in dog bowls yesterday, thinking if he looked good, he was going to rise. I don't think he looked good. I don't think he's going to rise. I think he's clickable if you really need somebody, because as much as we like Monungai, I don't believe he got a carry. DeAndre Swift was in at the goal line. I think he's a guy you could be clicking in the 12-mans. I think if you really want to get cute, I think you could take him in the 6-mans. I don't think he'll be owned at all. I don't hate it. Again, he could just get 2 touchdowns and get you home, and he'll be undrafted in a lot of contests. I actually do like Jaylen Warren. I think he showed some stuff in the passing game. I think he's clickable as well. Again, is it a little thin in the 6-mans? Maybe, but if you want a guy that's going to be super duper unowned, maybe as a bring back to JSN or just on his own. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with some of the deep slumberers there. Greg says, been willing that Travion Henderson pick at the end of drafts. If he's going to get one of those 50-yard wheel routes, it'll be against the Dolphins. Yes, it is possible. It is possible he just absolutely torches the Finns. Jake says, remember when Fields tore his Achilles? Crazy times. Fields tore his Achilles. Is this right? Fields didn't tear his Achilles. Jake, I don't know if I'm missing out on something, or if I legitimately don't remember that Justin Fields tore his Achilles. Maybe I memory wiped that. Now Greg says this week, not year. Yeah, no, he's gonna be All right. Greg says, oh man, I thought Swift looked fine. I got to get my RB. Didn't he have like 37 yards on like 12 like I don't think he looked very good, man. He had a couple plays. He had a couple back-to-back runs where he looked good. He had one run up the middle where he ran hard, and he had one where he kicked it outside that he looked good, kind of back-to-back. And other than that, I didn't think he looked great. But he was the guy. So again, you asked for a late round. Easy. He left summer practice for an hour. Yes. I understand. I know what you're. Sorry. I got it. Jake, I apologize. Thank you, Easy, for yeah, when he was I remember that panic. I remember the panic. It was over. He was like, first they're like, he was carted off. I think, was he the guy they're like, oh, he's in an air cast, and the rumor was he got airlifted. Like there was some wild stuff in the dark days of like April. But yes, thank you. I'm with you now. And Greg says they really kept trying to run him up the middle. He just can't do it. He hesitates and tries to Yep, that was a criticism, was that he tried to bounce every single run outside. He just doesn't want to run between the tackles, and I can't blame him. If I was an NFL running back, I would kick it outside every single time and just try to beat them on the edge. I don't want to run into some 330-pound nose tackle. That sounds terrible. Greg says the rushing was bad. The PPR scam design screen, lots of fun. Yeah, again, I think he's ask my late round guys. DeAndre Swift against Detroit. Detroit, I think they did a pretty good job against Jacobs, but it's going to be in a dome. Should be a little faster paced game. I think he's alive in these BRs. If you go early wide receiver, we'll check the wide receivers, see who. I'm just going to tell you guys this. I am not going to take Ja'Marr Chase in the top 5. I just think he coin flips every week to be outscored by T. Higgins. I have a real problem thinking he's going to separate that much compared to some of the options. I would much rather have CMC, Henry, Gibbs, Barkley, or Chase Brown. I would literally take any of those 5 running backs ahead of Ja'Marr Chase. And if it's the week Ja'Marr Chase gets home, it's the week Ja'Marr Chase gets home. But finally, our long nightmare is over. Thank you for your patience. We are running wow, that was really anticlimactic. We're running a dog bowl qualifier, and we've got some legends in here. We got Best Ball Viper, winner of last year's. We've got JGFC. We got Chad Candles. We got Kevin. Our man Kevin is here. We got Mr. Worth. We got Easy. We got Mathology. I mean, it does not get much more elite than this room. So good luck, everybody. This is going to be a very sharp room. I hope everybody gets the stacks they want. You got to do what you got to do. Hopefully, hopefully we're able to build the plane out of something that flies. Greg says they kept trying. Monungai is going to take the between the tackle work if they ever give him a carry. I was really hoping they'd give him a carry, Greg. I really wanted to see him with the football. It didn't feel great. Maybe the Monungai inactive was really just health. Joel says it's an all-star draft. All right, we're up. CMC, Chase Sweat. So do we want an elite quarterback team, or do we want one of the running backs here? Interesting choice. I think I'm going to take Gibbs on this team. I think the quarterbacks are going to keep dropping during the week. That's kind of just my hunch. I think we're going to see Lamar fall to 6 and Allen to 7-ish. That's just my vibes-y take, but we'll see what people do. I like the elite quarterbacks. I don't think there would be anything wrong with taking them there. I just get the sense that this particular draft room is going to be very running back heavy, so I want to lock that up and try to just build one of our late stacks in this team. Best Ball on Call. I got your retweet, GM. Hey, Best Ball on Call. Thanks so much. Appreciate your support. I truly do. It means a lot. So thank you for doing that. DQ105. Kyle lost work to DJ Moore. It's over for him. He's running back 3 for sure. Well, I'd say not to panic, but I'm actually like kind of panicked. Like I really Monungai really might not be a thing, guys. Like I don't know how to say it. Like I think the DJ Moore stuff he's just gonna do every now and then because that just feels like a gimmick that they're in on. But I, I don't know. I really wanted to see them give Monungai the ball. So we see, yeah. So Allen goes 8. Allen goes 9. Lamar goes 8. That's. I think you're going to see this more as the week goes on. I really do think those ADPs are going to shift to being more common on this side of the board. But a little bit of a value for Easy, a little bit of a value for Mr. Worth. Kevin gets. My truth serum might be that Chase Brown should be like the 104, like that Chase Brown is a better bet than Gibbs. But I'm going to do a lot of these, so I do think Gibbs also could be pretty darn good. I mean, you're going to have the Bears coming off of a slightly short week in a dome. Gibbs was a PPR scam. If he breaks any of those, he's is going to have a monster week. So I'm pretty into Gibbs here. Mathology taking Trey McBride. I think this makes sense. There is only one truly elite tight end, and after McBride, I'm fine to just wait to the very end. I'm kind of into the later tight ends there. Right, let's see. Greg says, dude almost got snapped in half, hospital ball. Yeah, I thought he was done, and I had literally just finished a dog bowl where I took DJ Moore. I was like, oh well, good thing we get some adjustments there. Yes, keep him interested, I get, but that's Johnson's spot ASAP. Yeah, I think Roshan's going to get it back. Like, I think that's just my take, but we'll see. Joel says, really wish Bigsby would have gone to Chicago instead. I wish Bigsby had gone anywhere other than Philly. That's just Siberia. We're done, guys. We're done. Shipley's done too. It's over. It's all over. Greg says, Roshan's a quarterback, not a running back, but we can't agree, yada, yada. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I have some larger Roshan bags from early in the summer, and then I completely stopped taking him. Started taking a little sprinkle of Monungai. I don't know what's going to happen. I really didn't think Swift looked that great, but I think he did fine enough to probably just like keep the gig for now. All right, so board is coming back to us. Do we want another running back? Do we want a wide receiver here? Do we want to take Joe Burrow and hope that T. Higgins wraps around to us? I don't know if I want to do that. I would probably, if I were to even do that, I would take Higgins and just hope that the Chase Brown drafter just doesn't want the stack and is going to try to get different. I would rather not just have Burrow and end up having to take like Noah Fant or something. That seems bad. I don't think I want to do a Bears mega. I'll take a James Cook share here. I like Kamara. I like a few of these options, but let's just lock up running back here. The late running backs are fine, but I think the late receivers are going to be a little easier. Give us a little optionality for quarterback in this room, and so we'll see what comes around. After my pick, I'll check in on our friends and family in here, but I just want to monitor the board. Interesting to see Burrow go here at 20. I wonder if G for Gumby either A, doesn't care about naked Burrow, or B, was hoping Higgins would go to him. JGFC just snaps off Higgins at 22, so takes that off the board. Again, so it just doesn't feel great ending up with Burrow at pick 20 unstacked. I don't love that for G for Gumby, but unstacked quarterback is not like a death sentence in these things. You don't have to be perfect in dog bowls. It's smaller field than is like the main BR or something, but it becomes a little thin. You got to think he's bringing somebody with him, and it's probably not one of the tight ends, but you never know. All right, let's see what the room is giving to us. Again, if you do this on your phone, it ghosts out the options you cannot take. I cannot take another running back. Best Ball Viper takes Etienne at pick 25. Yeah, so Etienne's ADP, again, ADP 42. He goes at 25 here. I think he's going to be a riser. He was cheap early in the contest and is starting to steam up. Kamara goes. I think Pollard is clickable for folks. I'm going to take a DK Metcalf share on this team. I really do like JSN. I have a little bit of I like both these guys. I actually feel like that's something you could potentially do out of the one hole if you want a game stack Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I like Metcalf because honestly, I'm going to buy the revenge narrative of Metcalf playing his old team. I know it seems a little silly. I'm going to want exposure to all these guys, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers likes Metcalf, and if there's ever going to be a manufactured touchdown, I could see it this week. I also thought Pittsburgh's offense looked pretty good, so we'll take DK Metcalf. I think you don't need that whole revenge narrative to draft him there either, but that's just something that was rattling around in the head. So Best Ball Viper, past champ, knows what he's doing. He takes Chase Hubbard and Etienne, so he locks up 2 running backs through 3. I think that's sharp. JGFC, he takes Hunter, Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, and A.J. Brown. It's a nice fall on A.J. Brown. I mean, A.J. Brown at pick 27, a guy who was, went ahead of this in Best Ball. We're getting a pick 27 because he had a bad week. I don't mind buying the Dipperino there against the Chiefs. Kevin, our friend here, he takes Chase Brown, James Conner, and of course, Ricky Pearsall. For those who don't know, Kevin is one of the biggest Ricky Pearsall bulls in the sport. James Worth, so he goes 0 RB. Let's see what he's able to land the plane with. He takes Lamar Jackson, Malik Neighbors, and JSN. So I like all the players in a vacuum. Let's see how you're able to land the plane with wide receiver. Easy. He takes Josh Allen. He takes Jonathan Taylor and MHJ. So again, three very strong picks. I like MHJ quite a bit this week. I have at least 2 MHJ Kyler teams in dog bowl qualifiers. Garrett Wilson goes at 34. Not going to be stacked with Justin Fields on this team. So we will likely get a naked Fields unless somebody gets cute and does like Mason Taylor, which I think is live. I mean, Mason Taylor did have a reception or 2. If you want to do that, I think that's going to be like completely unowned. I don't know if I want to do that, but I'm just throwing ideas out there. Mathology. So Mathology takes Swift at 37. Yeah, I don't mind this build. McBride, BTJ, Pickens, Swift. Pickens was a little bit of a faller compared to last week. I like that dip. BTJ, he got a little bit of a bad rep. 13 is not that big a fall, so I don't think Mathology got like a huge discount, but would it shock anyone if BTJ was like the wide receiver 1 in a given week? Nope. So again, he's only the wide receiver 4 this week, so we didn't get any kind of like huge discount on him. Pickens didn't do much last week, but is certainly live to have a bounce back this week. So we are coming around here, starting to think about who we want on this team. I will say I am unlikely to go in this mid-tier of tight end, although I am, sympathetic to possibly doing that. None of the guys to my left need quarterbacks or have a quarterback, which is something to note. So if I did take a Hollywood Brown, I would have to hope that nobody took an unstacked Mahomes. So we'll see if that's the direction we want to go. It's just something that I'm thinking about. This would be the range where I wanted to do that. I don't think I'd want to take Mahomes first, but I certainly could. I was going to say if Tyreek came to me, I was just going to try to make the Tyreek bet. We could take DJ Moore. We could take DJ Moore against Detroit, build out that a little mini game stack. DJ Moore, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good last night. I don't know which direction we want to go. Let's do Hollywood Brown. Let's try to push Mahomes, and we'll cross our fingers. We get it. We may not, but we may. So let's. That was bad. Because the Travis Kelce drafter is going to take Mahomes, folks. He's going to take Mahomes. So we're going to have naked Hollywood Brown. I wish I could have that back because I don't like Hollywood Brown and I really don't want him unstacked. But now I just have to watch as my plan kind of vaporizes before my eyes. But you know what? That's the way she goes. Casey Pollock, he took Justin Fields over here. So Fields does go naked. T-Law goes to the Etienne drafter in Best Ball Viper. I wonder if he's going to take Travis Hunter, if that's his plan to do a Jags double stack. Travis Hunter's going to go unowned into some of these. No, he takes Warren. So we'll see if his plan is to end with Hunter. I'd be interested to see that. All right, so for us, I have Mahomes in the queue. He's going to vanish. We could take Laporta and then plan on a Goff double, but we can't count on that because I don't know where the Amon-Ra drafter. Where are you, Amon-Ra drafter? Anyway, I don't want to do that. There goes Mahomes. We knew that was coming. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? We're a little bit limited here. I guess I think I'm going to take Dallas Goedert. Ugh, this is gross. This is gross. Oh, I'm too slow. I'm too slow. All right, we're taking Goddard. I don't really like this. I don't love how this ended. I think I fumbled. I think I fumbled it, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. My plan was to take Goddard with my last pick because he goes unstacked a lot. But I do think Goddard against Kansas City is fine. Goddard actually was used quite a bit. I consider him I consider him pretty good for a tight end that's going undrafted in some of these BRs. I'm planning to take Aaron Rodgers here. If I don't get Aaron Rodgers here, then this draft really went off the rails. But I don't know why anyone would else. I don't know why anyone would take Rodgers there unless somebody goes like Jonnu Rodgers randomly. But it really wouldn't make sense for anybody. I'm only dodging this Turban Sky and Mathology. So I don't think I have anything to worry about with that. But of course, I've not worried about things before, and I should have been worried. So hopefully we line that up. If not, we'll just take an unstacked quarterback and move on with our lives. Other options I could have done, I could have taken like Drake May and then Hunter, or just done Drake May naked because the Dolphins look so bad. We might be able to do that. We might be able to do that. So let's see what we checked in on Best Ball Viper. JGFC, of course, he went Mahomes, Kelsey. Again, I should have seen that coming. It's something now I can remember if I'm trying to do the Hollywood Brown Mahomes thing to not do it if this is on the board for somebody that needs a quarterback. Kevin, he's got Chase Brown, James Conner, Ricky Pearsall, Chris Olave, and Brock Purdy. So Kevin not worried that Purdy might be out. Of course, if Purdy's out, he will get a quarterback nonetheless. But it will Kevin will have to set ranks to make sure that his quarterback he wants slides in. J-Dubs, he's got Lamar Jackson, Malik Neighbors, JSN, Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins. So yeah, I don't mind that if is a late running back. I think Dobbins is fine. Easy, he's got Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Marvin Harrison, Cortland Sutton, Zay Flowers. So he goes 3 running back, 1 receiver. So we see that he pushed, he went anchor running back, and we'll be taking a tight end late. And Mathology, he gets Trey McBride, BTJ, Pickens, Swift, Dak, and he gets Devonta Smith, who, Devonta Smith at pick 61. We're going to be like, what are we doing here? J-Dubs, he gets Jalen Warren. I don't mind that. Jalen Warren, another guy, if you're building a Rodgers stack, I think he could fit in. He obviously scored a receiving TD here. Easy says, cool to hear someone's early thoughts on Dog Bowl qualifier. Hey, Easy, thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. Thanks for drafting with me. I like the team. I like the Kincaid pick. I mean, the Kincaid Allen stack, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice that Kincaid was essentially free there. So as long as Turnbus doesn't take Aaron Rodgers, which again, that just wouldn't. The good thing about Dog Bowl qualifiers is people generally don't do really, I don't want to say stupid things, but people try to stay in their lane. Like, people are very stack oriented. So, and unless there's like a big faller or someone's planning a back stack, you're usually going to be able to get the stack you want. So this team ends up being Aaron Rodgers, Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, DK Metcalf, Hollywood Brown, Dallas Goedert. I hate the Hollywood Brown pick. I wish this was somebody else. I do feel like I fumbled it. Like, Travis Hunter, super live to outscore him. Flowers, I would have trouble taking Booty on a non-Drake May team, but sure. I mean, Booty was very good last week. Devonta, Coleman, I was setting something up, and I shouldn't have counted on that as much as I had. Worthy, for those who are not super familiar with BR, if Worthy does not play, he will He's currently marked questionable. So if you put somebody who's questionable and they don't play, you get a free substitution. You'll get the highest player in your ranks who will slot in there. The rankings are done from, I believe, right to left. So if Mathology has somebody ruled out, his first pick. So that's a long way of saying he'll get a wide receiver in there who is somewhat competent. If it went just off of ADP, if he didn't do a rank, then DJ Moore would slot in, then Jerry Jeudy. So let's just take a quick look at the wide receivers that are left so people can know the kind of guys that are going undrafted, at least in this draft. DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Jameson Williams, Steph Diggs, Rome Odunze, Pittman. These are all good names. Obviously, we're a little scared of Pittman because of Patrick Surtain, but you can grab some guys that are going undrafted. I think if you scroll down into the depths of Narnia, you've scrolled a little too far. Unless you want to do IO Manor and just show everyone how smart you are, but I think that's a little too much. Goes cards. Never been in a dog bowl draft. I have the definition of stupid things. Well, hey, you know what? I have faith. You'd pull it off there. Mathology at Easy today on 4 p.m. on Flannel Burst. We will be talking dog bowl and sub draft. Hey, Mathology, thanks for coming in. I like the team you assembled. I really think I really like from the 12 getting that McBride stack, and we were talking about Swift earlier. So I and Devonta at 61. I like the team you put together there. And yes, you should absolutely join a Mathology on the Flannelverse there. Neil Orfield, Mathology, two of the best. So again, I really appreciate you stopping by this morning. Mo K says Juwan Johnson or Hunter Henry. I'm not sure if you're throwing suggestions for last round tight end picks. I think they're both eminently clickable. If you're talking about who to start this week, I can't say that I have any great lean, and I know that's a little bit of a cop-out. For me, it would probably be Juwan Johnson, just because I feel like Hunter Henry can be a little up and down, but Hunter Henry's playing the Dolphins, so he literally might score 94 fantasy points. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. Maybe, now that I say it, it would probably Hunter Henry, but I'm fine starting either one. Again, it's hard to know that the Dolphins may make some adjustments, but again, are we putting your faith in Spencer Rattler? It's a little dicier than maybe Drake May, who we all like, although I wasn't super impressed with Drake May. I know I'm not allowed to say that. There might be leg up people watching, so I can't disparage Drake May too much. All right, let's see what another dog bowl's at. Let's see. I'm bearish on this being near filling, but sometimes people just start rolling these. Yeah, waiting for 6. All right, I'm gonna hop out of this because we'll be in there for too long. Let's just hop in a regular BR. Let's do a regular BR and see what we can see. If anyone wants to join, we're waiting for 4. I don't mind if people want to hop in these, please feel free. These tend to go pretty quick. They tend to move somewhat fast and fill fast as well. We will be getting Pete's contest, the Deposit Kingdom BR, great contest, 3 max. Last week, somehow I only got in 1 draft. It was a huge fumble on my part. I was saving mine for later, and then later never came, and it was full. It fills faster than you think. Like when it first launches, it takes a day or so, and then it just, like, when people start running these, it just kind of like snap fills before you know it. So all right, let's see if we got anybody in this one. We got Mr. Worth in here. So James Worth here at the 5. I don't think I recognize anybody else. My 101 has been Christian McCaffrey, but I don't know if I'm going to draft that way. I don't want 0% Derrick Henry. That seems really bad. So I'll probably take them kind of at ADP. I'm going to be really light on Jamar Chase. I mentioned this before, but to me, it's like which one of these doesn't belong. And it's just Jamar Chase. Like, I don't know. Taking Jamar Chase at 2 versus Lamb at 6, like, just give me Lamb at 6 every time. And even at 6, I'd rather double tap Gibbs and Brown. I think that, like, again, I'm not going to do this every single draft. Like, I don't want all of my 6 holes to be Gibbs Brown teams. Like, I don't think that's a good process. I don't want all my eggs in that particular combinatorial basket, but I'm going to be weighted more towards this early tier of running back. But this is a contest where I am more willing to push running back into the late rounds, because it's going to be so much deeper than the last one. All right. So we are up. So CMC goes, Henry goes. I'll take let's do an elite QB team. Let's do a Lamar Jackson team and see what happens. My one concern is I think you're going to get rooms where Lamar Jackson slips all the way to like 10. You just need 5 other drafters to be like a little bearish on elite QB, and you can get some values. Like you're going to see that happen in some of your rooms. So I would try to push elite quarterback a little bit, especially early in the week, and see what happens. And if that's not happening, then I would just catch up later is how I'm going to build, I think. But like, yeah, Josh Allen, he made it through the first round. Let's see if any of these 3 guys take him or not. Be interesting to see there. Mo says, I have Fannin, Strange, Johnson, Henry. I would pick up Fannin. I think that he feels like a possible league winner. All those other tight ends are startable. I liked Strange. Those are all guys I was into pre-draft with. Wasn't that into Henry, but I think he's perfectly reasonable. But I would not leave Harold Fannin on my waiver wire. He's massively involved. I mean, he was out targeting Njoku already. They were putting him all over the field. He was lining up everywhere but quarterback. Like I would not leave him on the bench. And that was only the first game. I think he's a absolute priority waiver wire ad, but the other guys are fine too. The other guys are perfectly reasonable additions to the team. I'll pull the board up. I like McBride a lot in these, as I noted. If I don't get McBride, then I'm probably just going to push tight end in these. So we start with Lamar and Chase Brown. J-Dubs, he gets Josh Allen at pick 8, so he gets Lamb Allen on his team. Just looking at wide receiver, I believe Zay Flowers, his ADP is 28. So, obviously if I want him, I could just take him at 22, because there's going to be guys I like at 27. I'm not going to get super fussed about ADPs in these contests. These, this is kind of a volume game. We're going to be getting a lot of different lineups in. I want to get a lot of different combinations in. I don't have to squeeze every single drop of CLV out of every draft. So I'm fine with that. With that said, let's see. I like Jonathan Taylor. I'll take a little BTJ here. We'll take BTJ as our wide receiver 1. He's of course playing opposite Chase Brown. I'm a little less worried about bringbacks in BR. I think we can get a little hung up on the bringback stuff, and it doesn't always pay off in battle royales. It's, you can end up tying players together too frequently if you're hyper focused on bringbacks. But if it happens, I'm fine with it too. Greg says, don't get points for blocks, but man, I'm an instant Brenton Strange fan. Pretty much clotheslined a guy in the past. I'm big on Brenton Strange. I think he's great. He looks like he belongs out there. And, Evan Ingram was always a top 10, top 8 tight end when healthy on the Jags. So I don't know why Brenton Strange can't just absorb a role that we were excited about before. And now we have a player we think can do it. Also, by the way, I'm a terrible streamer because it's been 49 minutes and 30 seconds, and I have not asked you guys to like or subscribe. If you could please like and or subscribe, it would do me a lot of good. I appreciate it. We're on the road to 200. The goal was 200 before season kicked off. We did not reach that goal. However, the road to 200 does not stop just because we are slightly behind. We're going to get there, and I appreciate y'all hanging out this morning. It's so much fun to do these with you all. So again, thank you. Jonathan Taylor goes, that would have been fun to have him wrap around. Let me see. So Kurds needs a running back. So I probably just take James Cook here because I'm pretty into James Cook. That said, I'm also pretty into James Conner. Interesting decision here for me. Interesting decision. Let's get our stack. Let's just take Zay Flowers here. And then, so here's something to note in BRs. This is kind of important BR. Heavyweights cannot take a running back. He already has 2. This format, you can only have 2. Kurds can only take 1 because he already has Henry. You can only have 2 running backs. I am pretty neutral between James Cook and James Conner. I like both of them. I also like Breece Hall. I think these are fine. But there was only one Zay Flowers. So if I want Flowers and I'm agnostic to those running backs, then I need to take Flowers first, because I'm just going to take James Conner here. Let's get James Conner on the board. And the other thing is I have two people. I have J-Dubs and T-Sim, and he could take Conner, so I couldn't just take a tight end there and push running back, because if I want Conner and Hall, those two might go. But just be very aware of the board, because you can end up getting sniped when you didn't need to get sniped, just by keeping an eye on who can take what on the wraparounds. It's very, very important in BRs. It's something that something to be mindful of, and why you should try to keep the board up and be aware of the position limits as they come around. All right, let's see. Ghost cards. Week 1 top 3 weekly winners. Solo Allen teams. Wow. Yeah, that was one way I think you could build weekly winners, and I can't remember exactly how mine look, is where you just take like an elite quarterback, like you take like one quarterback and then just all the other ones, and just say like the week Allen smashes, I just hope I hit the right combo. So I think there's some cool stuff you can do there. Keep the Chief, GM to you. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Keep the Chief. Appreciate the support. Junior Madrigal. Hey, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it. I need help. Have Tucker Craft at tight end. Should I get Fannin? I can't drop. I would not drop Tucker Craft, but I think to me that's a little bit. We'll take Fannin on this team. We'll take Fannin again. I know I said, oh, don't do the bring back too much, but I would have taken Harold Fannin even if this was a Kyler team. I like Fannin. I like Fannin quite a bit. And, again, if this game shoots out, let's do that. This team ends up being Lamar, Chase Brown, James Conner, BTJ, Flowers, and Fannin. So this ends up being like a very kind of classic stack bring back sort of team, but I don't mind the way it's constructed. But Junior, I like Tucker Craft. I really would not drop him. I would not drop him for the shiny object. I mean, I think that's getting a little too much buying the hype. If you can drop somebody else, it sounds like you said you can't drop anybody else. So I would, yeah, I that's such a tough situation to be in when you have enough of a position. But that would be my take. It would be tough to part with Kraft there. Yeah, Greg says you got a top 5 tight end hodl. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm with Greg on that one. All right, let's check in on the dog bowl. Let's check. Let's first, before we go, let's see what Mr. Worth put up. He went Lamb, Allen, and Amon-Ra, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, and Kincaid. That is a perfectly reasonable team, J-Dubs. I have no notes. Like that's pretty good. I mean, the only thing I'll say is it's definitely live to get duped if it does. Like this could be a thing people do. I don't think there were any reaches. I think everything kind of happened at ADP. I think Allen, if he's not stacked with Coleman, will be stacked with Kincaid, and he might even be stacked with Kincaid most. So I don't, you didn't do any big scrolls. That said, sometimes I feel like the dupe stuff is a little bit like, well, if I dupe and I first place, am I mad? Like I wouldn't have won first place if I didn't dupe. So I wouldn't panic about that. But this does feel like a team that's very live to very live to get dupe, but I don't have any of that build yet. Yeah. So I think in a BR again, if I dupe first place and I split $60,000 3 ways, I'm not gonna be sad. So yeah, I don't mind that, but there is a chance that you could, if instead of Kincaid you just do Naked Allen and you take another tight end, you really might be like, you'll just be unique because everybody in your boat is going to take Kincaid. And what if Fannin or Kelsey or who's on the wire? Like there's going to be good tight ends. Andrews, Goddard, Strange, Johnson. Like there's Jonnu. There's so many names that are live to outscore Kincaid. Like I wouldn't be opposed to building that exact team and then just switching that. And then you're just like 1v1 with people. And if if it's not through Kincaid, then you're you're just going to get unique, and you could outscore those teams. Yuck, waiting for 9. I wonder if everyone hopped out or if that one actually fired, but we will see. We will do not care, and we're going to hop into another BR. We're waiting for 5, so if you want to get in, now is your chance. Keep the Chief says, I have you in the Hertzig contest. Let's ship. Yeah, okay, here. Look, guys. I found out in the Hertzig contest, I am rostered 37 times, which is fantastic. However, 18 of those times, I am the alternate. I am the sub $6,000 alternate. I am the backup plan. I'm the friend you call when, you have a concert and you and your buddies, you 4 of you can go in the last minute, someone can't. And then you're like, hey, Chad, you want to come to the concert? Where was the invite months ago? You guys have been planning this. I know you're only inviting me because someone dropped out. Terrible. Terrible. Chad, the number 1. So I am, of course, joking. I'm honored to even be considered in the late swap range, but I'm hoping I'm live. And we maybe if you have me as an alternate, I would have won 5,000 if I just put Chad in. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm kidding. I'm just happy. I think it's really cool that Hertzig did that contest. It's super fun. Maybe next year I'll get over 6K, but we'll when I'm 5,400, I'll be doing the same thing. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, Jake, I'm rostering in my starting lineup, not in my squad for this swap. Nice. Greg says, not involved in the contest, but would love to keep up with this. Where's it at? I believe it's fantasybestball.com. I believe fantasy bestball. I want to make sure I'm not sending you guys to some real sketchy site. Why can't I type in my own chat here? I guess I have to, all right. Okay. Here we go. All right. That is the website. If you go to entries, if you go to the, here, I can go to this. I can switch this tab. If you go to entries, you can see who people are taking. It's a little wonky. I know they're working on the site, but you can see who the team owner is and who they put in. Fun thing. Hertzig tweeted out. Hold on. Let me go back to the BR. Of course, I'm in the 3, so I'm kind of like, it's gonna be hard to multitask. He tweeted out that 25% of people did not read the instructions because you needed to make your alternates under 6K, and somehow I missed that. So I put like people over 6K as my alternate, so I don't have alternates. Oops. I did not understand the format, but I do understand I should take CMC here. I don't think this room has any friends or family, but if you're in here, let me know. Kevin says Algo. That's for the Algo. Hey, Kevin, thanks for doing it. You could do the same thing when the video's over. I think that helps too. I think the comments help the Algo out. Keep the Chief. Fellas, new to Guillotine this season. My team has Worthy, and I am the lowest projected this week. Jamar Chase is on the wire. How much? 50% plus. Keep the Chief. I'm in the same boat as you. I survived, and I have Worthy, but my starting running backs were Dylan Sampson, Cam Scatabo, and Braylon Allen. Like, I had to start 2 of those guys, and I have Josh Jacobs on the wire. So we're like pretty darn. I'm gonna take Puka here. Puka should be ahead of 10, by the way. I just picked on the left side in the dog bowl, but I think Puka is a mega smash. Like CMC Puka, this could be the highest scoring receiver and highest scoring running back. I will never turn this start down. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't know. I'm not good at that. I got 3rd in Pete's Guillotine League last year by like duct tape and bubble gum held the team together. Like, my team sucked. I don't know how it survived. It was literally just like the variance gods were on my side. So I don't know. I know Dan in the Deposit Kingdom, he won. He had some good strategy, but I don't even remember what it was. I don't know if I would burn 50%. I mean, maybe, because players do get cheaper at the end. And if that just keeps you afloat for several weeks and then everyone's like burning their fab. I don't know if 50% will get it done for Ja'Marr Chase is the thing. Like, if you really need him, I don't know who your other like wide receivers are. Like, you might survive and be able to pick up someone you're happy with later. And we got CMC, Puka, Neighbors. Neighbors seems good. This is a very unadventurous team so far, but we're kind of just taking what the room gives to us here. We're going to start having to think about scroll down options. James Conner, Chuba Hubbard. I think those guys are pretty live. I think I'm probably going to do 2 running backs. I don't know if there's a try to get a little different at quarterback, but right now we're not looking at any crazy scrolly options on this team. Everyone's really going with ADP here, so no one going too far afield. Everybody, this guy needs 2 running backs. I'm going to take Connor on this team. I think the Carolina's run defense looked god awful. I mean, maybe Etienne is good, maybe he's not, but they made him look good. They made him look very good. So we'll get Connor onto the team. Burrow goes, Fields goes. Quarterback options. It's a little dicey, folks. It's a little dicey. I'm gonna shoot straight with y'all. I am not very big on. Okay, everybody has a quarterback. By the way, this is something for me. I see everybody has a quarterback. We're gonna get weird. This is where we're gonna get weird. I could do a few different things, but we're gonna get really weird. We're gonna take Jonnu. We're gonna do Jonnu, Aaron Rodgers here because I think this is a little out there. But Jonnu was pretty involved, and it was only week 1, and he'd missed a little bit of time. I don't really like Stafford. I feel like he never scores enough. I don't know if it's going to be I don't even know if the quarterback is going to be Russ or if they're going to move to Dart. I think that's still a little hazy, so I don't want to stack either of them. Again, I don't think anybody's going to do this. I mean, obviously, I'm doing it. I'm not like, but Rodgers is going to be sub 5% owned in the main BR. Other things we could have done, we could have tried to do. Oh, Kelsey went, huh? I thought Kelsey hadn't gone. We could have done Goff, Laporta. We could have done Danny Dimes, Warren. There were a few different options. I mean, maybe that's better because Danny Dimes has a little more rushing upside, but I think that combination is going to exist in the wild. Or, we could have taken Drake May, Hunter Henry. We could have taken Drake May naked. I think that would have been fine options too. Bo Nix. I don't think Evan Ingram went, or did he? Either way, let's just take Aaron Rodgers. I'll pull the board up. No, Evan Ingram did not go. So we could have done Nix, Ingram. So this is just to say that we could get a little funky here, and we start off with this very meat and potatoes thing, and then we just get very different with our quarterback tight end to end here. All right. Kevin says you didn't have 5K stone priced min Kevin as an alternative, or was that starter selection? I assume Keep the Chief says you're a starter on my squad as well. I mean, if you wanted Ricky Pearsall exposure, Kevin was your man. Tony, simply a skill issue not to have Kevin as at least Kevin. Had I constructed my alternates correctly, you would have been on there. But instead, I rostered people that were not not eligible as alternates. Not great. I don't even know how to easily find my team on here. I just got to hit enter. Oh, all right. So I rostered. I rostered myself, of course. Davis, Fantasy Dog Pound, Artillery Frost, Chess Liam, Hertzig. And then I tried to make Mathology and Al Boogie as my alternates. I actually thought I had made a new team after this. I was pretty sure Al Boogie was a starter on my team, so I'm a little disappointed. In myself there because I thought he made it in. But that's the crew. That's the crew I have, and I wish I could have made a few teams because there's some of you all who I would have loved to have had on there. But it is fun. It is fun to do it. Hartman, GM to you. Thanks for You know what? I realized I wasn't even sharing the screen. I thought I was, but that's another skill issue. Another skill issue there. All right, let's see what the dog bowl's at. Let's see what the dog bowl's. I'm gonna guess it's waiting for 5, waiting for 7. Yeah, we're not gonna sit and wait in a dog bowl draft. Does anyone know? Does anyone know when Pete or Davis? When are they coming on today? Does Pete? I don't think is live at 10. Or when is Ship Chasing on? That's the better question. Is Ship Chasing? I know their schedules a little bit different. I'm just trying to see when are they projected live. No, they're coming on at 8 p.m. tonight. 8 p.m. for Ship Chasing. Tone says Davis said he might not even stream depending on video completion. Oh no. Okay. All right. One more check. When does Pete? Is Pete coming on? Pete's coming on at 3:30. All right. Well, we're clear. So I can run. If we do get a dog bowl going, we can run it there. Let's hop in another battle royale. Waiting for one. If you want to hop in, it is now full. So let's see what we can do here. Just trying to get a little different. Trying to build some fun teams. We're here in the 3-hole. Oh God, we've got B-Spurf at the 4. So we've got an expert here. Al Boogie, hey, been behind. You started Davis over me. Al Boogie, I swear this whole time I thought you were in the team and you couldn't check what you submitted. Now, I should have just resubmitted a lineup, but I could have. Honestly, Al Boogie, I thought you were on, so I apologize. I'm going to be rooting for you. I'm going to be cheering for you and all the Al Boogie rosterers because I was positive you were on the crew. So again, I apologize. So when I don't win $5,000 because I started Davis Maddock over Al Boogie, I'm going to I'm going to be pretty bummed out. I actually wish I'd started just a team, and left off the former BBM winners as much as they're great players. I think there's probably was a lot of game theory in not rostering Liam and Herzig, who are 25% owned in the contest. As much as they're some of the best players in the world. I think from a game theory perspective, it probably didn't make sense to fade those guys. B-Spurf GM, I see you in here at the 4-hole. No, stay in your lane over there. I'm just kidding here. I take CMC. B-Spurf, he takes Saquon. And let's see what the room gives to us. Elite quarterback falls to the second rounder, at the very least to the 1-2 turn with Lamar going. Yes, I think elite quarterback is just going to slide a little bit. So B-Spurf will have the choice. Does he go elite quarterback here? Does he go elite quarterback? The decision. He takes Puka. I'm pretty big on Puka. I will not, however, pass on Allen at the 10. I feel like that's pretty nice. I don't think that's going to be rare though. I think Allen will be at the 10, but who knows? I mean, sometimes things ebb and flow. My next pick, however, would have been Trey McBride, but yeah, Puka at 10 feels. I have a hard time clicking Puka over BTJ. To me, that seems that does not seem right. Puka, just a absolute smash to me, and is more than live to be the wide receiver 1 for this week, for the season, for the rest of his life. It's pretty darn wheels up on him. Chase Brown would be a gift at 15. We'll see what Snacks does. Snacks is live, pretty likely going to take Chase Brown. He needs a running back, and I think Chase Brown is just head and shoulders better than the alternatives here. But we'll see what old Snacks does. Devon A-Chain, man. Wow, he takes Burrow. Yeah, we'll just take Chase Brown. That seems good. We'll just do that. Yeah, Chase Brown at 15. If I could just lock button that, I would. B-Spurf, he takes Amon-Ra. A-Chain goes at the 3.5. So just looking at the board, Broyo, he can no longer take a running back. So Broyo and I have the exact same build so far. The question is are we going to stack Allen? Are we going to make him naked? I'm very leery on Allen Kincaid. I just think that's going to be the default way to play Josh Allen. I think I would rather do Josh Allen, Keon Coleman personally. I think that's going to be underdone. If you look at Coleman, he's 34. The masterclass that Pete and Nez and gosh, I'm blanking on the last name and I'm super embarrassed, put out, they have a really cool ADP guide which says basically the ownership of players and their ADPs on BR. So like a 34.4% or ADP actually equates to a certain ownership percentage generally. So you can figure out which guys are owned in all of the contests or not. I think that's a pretty cool tool there. AJ Brown might be available to us. JSN is pretty fun himself. Beastburf takes James Cook. I think there's going to be a lot of teams using Garrett Wilson as a bring back. I'll take a JSN share. I mean, 13 targets was pretty impressive. I'm going to do that. Maybe it's a little ugly with Darnold against the Steelers, but I'm going to run that, and then I am going to take I'm going to queue up Coleman. I'd be very surprised if somebody took Coleman, but of course you never know. This guy cannot take a wide receiver. This guy can take one. This guy can take one. I don't think taking Travis Kelce or Andrews is worth missing out on the Coleman stack. So we're just going to do that. We'll take Keon Coleman. We'll lock up that Coleman-Allen pairing. I think it would have been perfectly fine to take another receiver and pass on Keon Coleman. There would have been nothing wrong with doing that. But we will we'll just take a tight end with our last pick. Let's see what Beastburf did. Beastburf is going to get Travis Kelce, assuming that's what he wants. I obviously cannot speak for Beastburf, but everybody else has a quarterback. And, it makes sense that Havstang would have taken Kyler. I think, Beastburf can sit here and look and know that this Havstang guy, he's either going to take Prescott or Kyler, in all likelihood. So he could have, done the Kelce Mahomes thing, or he could take Goff, he could take Stafford, he could do whatever he wants. But my assumption is that's what we're going to see out of Beastburf there. Havstang needs a tight end. I kind of want Brenton Strange. I almost took Brenton Strange because I wanted him more than the other guys. I don't really. We could make the Fannin bet. We could take Goddard. I think both of these guys are perfectly fine. I don't really need a Juwan Johnson bring back. Again, I'm not going to be bring back focused. I'm going to take. Gosh, Fannin is just so fun. I'm going to take Fannin because we do want to live a little. So yeah, so Beastburf, he does take Mahomes. That makes sense. You all over it. Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense, Beastburf. I like the team you put together. Best Ball on Call. Make sure to hit the like for Chad Candles. Well, this is not a masterclass Best Ball on Call, but I do appreciate it. We're trying to build some fun teams. This is CMC, Josh Allen, Chase Brown, JSN, Keon Coleman, Harold, Fannin. I like this. I like the team. I think it's fun. Again, Beastburf, he went Saquon, Puka, Amon-Ra, James Cook, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. I like that team. Tony, the Fannin bet. Yeah, it's impossible to say just Fannin. It is just become the Fannin bet, and I think that's I think Corrine coined it, the Fannin bet, but I can't stop saying it. That is how I hear Fannin's name, with the Fannin bet as how it said. Steven WC23, first of all, thanks for coming in. GM to you, good team chat. Hey, thank you, Steven. I like it. I think it I think the team makes sense. It's kind of fun. I don't know why I'm really into Strange, but I'm trying to mix up the late tight ends. I don't want to get super, locked into any one of them. I'm just going to check on the dog bowl. Could I just sit in the dog bowl lobby and wait for it? Oh, there it is. We're doing a dog bowl. We are doing a dog bowl. I was not expecting that, but we're in. Let's see who's in here. We got Patrick Barnes YouTube, who appears like a genie in most stream drafts, but I don't believe he hangs out in here. But Patrick Barnes YouTube, GM to you. Best Ball Viper, of course, one of the best to do it. JGFC, he's in here. Easy's in here. Easy, I don't know if you're still hanging out, lurking. Well, you weren't lurking, you were chatting, so you were not lurking. But if you're hanging out, GM to you, good luck in this dog bowl here. Tony says, Harold and the purple crayon, he's the chalk against the Ravens. Yeah. My kid likes that book. It's in the rotation. It's not his favorite, but it is in there. Harold and the purple crayon. Yes, Steven, Best Ball Viper did win it last year. I can't remember if it was if it was the Hawk Tua lineup that won it. He had Hawkinson and Tua. I want to say that it was. I know either a team got to it or finished in the top 3 with that, and they were like doing the meme and they won. Can't remember if that was Best Ball Viper. I should know my my underdog lore, but I do know there was some topical joke that was worked into a lineup that won a lot of money. Go AZ Cards with elite quarterbacks on the slate. What will be required score to punch a dog bowl ticket this week? 20 more than last week. That's an interesting question. My only reason of saying no is because Fields and Dimes scored like elite QBs did, especially Dimes. So I would be surprised if it was significantly more, although, you have more cracks at elite QB, so it's not going to be just like the one random Dimes team, like who was like less than, I think, 10% owned or something. Yeah, you might be right. You might need a significantly bigger score. That tracks somewhat logically with how I'm thinking about it this week. Let's see what Best Ball Viper does here. Let's see what he does. So he takes Saquon. We got Gibbs. I'm going to live my truth, and I'm going to take Chase Brown ahead of Gibbs. We just did a Gibbs team in the dog bowl, so we'll do that here. We'll take Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown's workload was incredible. 21 carries. He just is the running back in Cincinnati. I think the Jags are a pretty favorable matchup for him there. Chase Brown was tackled at the 1 and didn't get the touchdown. If he gets a touchdown, his stat line looks even better. So I'm good there. Oh, so we have a Tieran says passing on Lamb is wild to me. I don't mind Lamb. For me, I feel like I can find value in late wide receivers more than I can in late running backs. I think running back in the 12-mans dries up very fast. It can be a little bit room dependent, but I'm willing to if I'm in the 11 or 12 hole, maybe, but I do have a tough time not getting the at least one of these running backs early, and without knowing what these guys are going to do. Only one running back going up, with the next 4 picks was a little surprising, but I think there's already a bit of a cliff if A-Chain's next. Like, yeah, Taylor, Kyron, Cook, Connor. It's it's definitely a fall off there to like CMC, Barkley, Henry first, then maybe the next tier. I guess if you want to include Gibbs in the first tier, and I just leapfrogged him. I see that argument there. For me, Chase Brown is underpriced, and I want to build some teams with him there. Terrence, Lamb and Chase are my 101, 102. I see that maybe more in full PPR, but in half PPR, touchdown is king. I have a little bit of trouble. I have a little bit of trouble fading that. I gotta be honest, man. This is an interesting spot here. It's very running back, kind of this like second tier running back situation. Kyron goes. I guess I'll take a Jonathan Taylor share here. A little torn. I mean, I think in a vacuum, I kind of prefer Connor, but I think the usage on Taylor is just like really kind of incredible. A little bit of an ADP value. I don't know. That's tough for me. A contest I'm not maxing. Maybe I should just get my guys a little bit more. I think you're going to see Chase Taylor teams, but from like the 10 and 11 hole, maybe a little more often. But I don't think this is going to be any kind of rare combo, being that we pulled Brown up. We kind of just evened out with the Taylor bet there. Let's check in on what the best and brightest are doing. Best Ball Viper, he goes Saquon Cook, so he goes running back as well. So I think he likely agrees with the thesis that running back can get a little thin. JGFC, he's not worried. He takes Josh Allen, BTJ. Easy, not worried either. He takes Puka McBride. Again, I don't mind that. I love Puka this week. I think for me, Terrence, how you feel about Lamb is kind of how I feel about Puka. I think Puka super live. I kind of miss this. Jawbreaker taking JSN at 3, so just completely throwing ADP out the window to take JSN. Again, it's like, can you win? Sure, but this feels like a little cute. This feels like a little too cute for me going JSN Brown. But hey, you know what? I don't know. I'm not familiar with Jawbreaker's game. Dylan Cash, he acts like we're in a BBM. He takes Chase, Burrow, and Higgins, so he goes with the Cincy double. Good luck to him if that's what you need. Then he's got it. The only issue for Dylan is I don't think this is going to be like, I think people are doing this. So you're kind of like actually competing against some team. So you could like take this big risk and then not win anyway. Kind of sucks. But if that's what you need, that's what you need. And there's nothing more you can do. Running back got a little thin. I will note I could still be live had I not gone running back. I would be okay with ETN. I'd be okay with Pollard. I'd be okay with Travion if I had to. So, maybe not as necessary to go running back early on here. Let's see what the room is willing to hand to us. Ricky Pearsall goes, I like Garrett Wilson, but I really don't think I like Garrett Wilson without Fields. I really don't like Garrett Wilson without Fields. This feels like stepping on the rake in the cartoon, but I'm going to step on the damn rake. I'll take Tyreek. It feels gross. The Dolphins feel super Jover, but imagine a world where Tyreek Hill had 115 yards and a touchdown. Where are we taking him? We're taking him probably pick around here, around this BTJ neighbors range. So I don't know. I'll step on the rake. I will step on the rake. Offsuit Chad, no. Offsuit, I stepped on the rake. FK Cooler says RB falls off so much. I agree. Even in 6-mans, it feels like a steeper running back cliff this week. Yeah, I think there are some late. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it, but we'll see. Lighting money on fire says Offsuit. Hey, Offsuit, thanks for coming in and hanging out. I appreciate it. Tioni, live a little beast for hopefully Tyreek gets traded or something. It could be bad. It could be bad. But the Dolphins, he's back home. He's in the comforts of his home. He has good relations with the police. He's definitely never been arrested on the way to his stadium or anything. Like, he's good vibes. Good vibes at Miami is what I'm saying there. Yeah, I didn't think that the chat is in full revolt over the Tyreek pick, but you know what? We're gonna try. We're gonna try something and see if we can get home even with a Tyreek team. Travion here is pretty nice. Feels like for one of these lucky people. JGFC doesn't need a running back, and if he's able to go Allen, BTJ, Garrett Wilson, nice little bring back for the Allen teams with Garrett Wilson. I would bet. I would wager a lot that JGFC is going to take Kincaid. I feel like Alan Kincaid is going to get overdone this week, guys. I really, really do. And it might be a smash, and I'm an idiot, but I just feel like it's not as clever as maybe we're thinking here. All right, so I would be shocked if JGFC does not take Travion. Yeah, he takes Travion there. What is the room? Ted McMillan is who I would have taken. That is a little unfortunate. That was kind of my my not so sneaky plan there. Yuck. It's getting why don't we just take naked Justin Fields? That seems kind of fun. Let's do that. Let's take naked Fields. The Garrett Wilson drafter couldn't have taken him, but I don't think there's almost no chance Fields is going to come back to me. I think Fields is kind of fun. I don't think I need to jam in Mason Taylor to make that bet. I was thinking of Travion would have been nice. I mean, Devonta went at pick 61, so this is kind of a wide range of draft positions we're seeing here on Devonta. That's somewhat interesting. Hopefully, we can pick up a late tight end that we like. But yeah, we'll lock up Fields there. I think that's kind of fun. Greg says, going to try out for the Dolphins. O-line Hill shares are safe. Help is on the way. Thanks, Greg. It couldn't get worse. It could not get worse. And if nothing else, you might be able to draw some unnecessary roughness penalties if you're just getting violently pancaked. Maybe that'll even be better. I don't know. Maybe the refs would take pity on us because it is brutal. Hello, fellow rake mate. Hey, Ghost Cards. Yeah. Oh my God. I know. But what if he's back? What if he's back? Patrick Paul needs to go away, and we need to start blaming the O-line. Yeah, well, I mean, we're at the point where McDaniel's going to have to start firing coordinators to buy himself some time there. At least this team, I don't have to worry about deciding if I want to draft Tua. I am telling you, I will do a Tua Tyreek stack because I think Tua is going to be 2% owned because 0 people want him. And, there is a chance of revival. We see teams turn things around. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm willing to throw a bet in or two on the off chance it does, because stranger things have happened. Maybe the Colts were just super prepared for what Miami was bringing there. All right, we got some interesting choices here at tight end. Again, I think we just pushed tight end to the end. There's so many tight ends I like late that I'm really agnostic to which one I end up with. There, I've got a few different wide receivers I like here. Let's see. Calvin Ridley was not one of them. I don't mind Ridley. I think that's fine. I almost think you could go Ridley Ward. I don't think that's going to be very popular. Brock Purdy goes. So let's do Travis Hunter. Let's do Travis Hunter. I mean, the Bengals defense is kind of ass. And, hopefully we don't get the report that this week Travis Hunter is going to play 100% on defense, none on offense. DJ Moore would have been another click I was into. I think he would have been perfectly fine. But let's take Travis Hunter, not just because he's a bring back to Chase Brown, but I think that's perfectly reasonable. If I really wanted Kincaid just to screw over JGFC, I could have, but I don't like Kincaid enough to do that, as a bring back to Fields. I'm not very bring back focused in this, and I'm also not just a dick and had no reason to do that to to JGFC. But he if you're really bring back oriented, you could do that. I think Kincaid will be paired with Fields kind of seldomly versus Allen. Pretty nice for JGFC to get Swift at 58. I think that's a gift of a pick there. I actually like Travion and Swift as two late running backs. I think that's a pretty nice way to end a team. Teody says Travis ain't going anywhere. Travis Hunter, Travis Etienne. We got too many Travises here, so I'm sorry, Teony. I missed the context that you're telling me there. All right, Keon Coleman goes not to the Allen drafter. So I almost expected if JGFC didn't to take Kincaid, he'd get Coleman. But I will be absolutely stunned. Let's see what Easy does. Easy, he's got Puka, McBride, Pollard, Kyler, and Javonte. So Tioni, Travis Hunter, Etienne will be going hopefully somewhere at the bench. Yeah, well, our Tootin bags need that badly. So let's see what Easy does. He takes DJ Moore. I mean, DJ Moore, I think, is a great pick. Getting him in the last round feels pretty nice. I like the team that Easy assembled there. Javonte, of course, I think he is a very clickable late round running back. I think late round running back is somewhat viable if you hit on the right early guys. Then than some of your other options. Dallas Goedert goes. Wow. So I love this from JGFC. He did not take Kincaid. He did not. You're going to see so much Allen Kincaid. If Goddard outscores Kincaid, that's just a 1v1. So, you know what? That's why GFC's, he knows what he's doing. I do really appreciate that from him there. Rendon says, hey, first of all, thanks, Rendon, so much for coming in. What's up? Love the stream. Question for you. Would you trade Bo Nix and David Njoku for Justin Fields? Also got another trade, Judy Waddle. All right, hold on. Let me put a pin in that and check the because I got to draft a football player on my team. So I could take Kincaid. Ferguson goes. Jonnu is still here. Interesting choice. I know I'm like, oh, don't worry about the bring back, but I'm gonna end up with a lot of late Fannin. This is tough for me. I really do like the Fannin bet. Let's take Fannin. Let's do it. Let's live a little. Let's take Fannin there. Again, I think you could have gone a few different ways. I think any of these tight ends would have been fine. So Bo Nix and David Njoku for Justin Fields. I don't know. I don't think I would do that. And I'm a pretty big Justin Fields fan, but I know Bo Nix didn't look great in the first week. But I'm worried that you're buying high on Fields, and I say this as someone with like double the field on Fields exposure. I'd be interested to see what the chat thinks. I don't have a problem doing that. I really like Fields. I mean, Fields is my starter on a few of my fantasy teams. And so if you're asking, if I was in the reverse and I had Fields, would I trade him for Nix? And I almost feel like the answer is no. I don't know. For me and Njoku, I'm almost like kind of neutral on. A tight end right now feels very deep. Like we had somebody saying there was like Strange, Fannin, Hunter Henry, Juwan Johnson on their waiver wire. Like it's hard for me to even put Njoku significantly above any of those options. So I don't know. FK Core says that feels like peak buy high, sell low. Yeah, that's it. That's like my fear, right? Is that like you're buying high on Fields, but in like BBM, Fields was going at, around pick 100, Nix around pick in the mid 80s, high 90s. So if we're just going by that, I don't know. I guess it's just for me, that's just more of a matter of preference. I could see that one either way. Now let me just check in on anyone else we have. What did Best Ball Viper do? So he did Purdy Jennings. Very interesting, taking two potentially questionable players. Now, of course, he might be playing the late swap game. This does give some optionality if the quarterback, if your players are out, you get them swapped in. So very interesting. So he either has a Purdy double stack, or he's going to probably end up setting his ranks to get a unowned stack and wide receiver. So very interesting for Best Ball Viper. I feel like he's kind of playing a little bit of a hedge game there with the using the Q tags. So interesting to see that from there. Easy, yeah, he took DJ Moore to end. I love the JGFC not just taking Kincaid there. I think that's very sharp. Kincaid going undrafted. So that is somewhat surprising to me, but I guess only one person needed a tight end, and he had Lamar. So he goes for the Lamar double with Flowers and Andrews. Very cool. Fun draft. Let's see where the Dog Bowl fill is. See if we can run another one. Waiting for 7. All right, that's I'm not going to subject you guys to waiting. Probably run another BR or two and then get out. So I'm just gonna hop into this one. Rendon has Nix and May started 0-1 because of Nix and there's so many people who are 0-1 because of Jamar Chase. It's Chase did randomly have a few down weeks, last year. If you look at his game log, it was it could be a little boom bust. Jamar Chase is going to be fine. I would not worry. I wouldn't. Yeah, FK Cores is right. It comes down to how you rate Nix. If you're I wouldn't look to blow up a team because I started 0-1 with Bo Nix and Jamar Chase. You're definitely buying, I don't want to say the top of Fields, because if Fields is really good, this might be like the last chance to get him, but you're definitely buying higher than you were a week ago, like, so it just depends. Do you think, for me, the signs are pointing up because I think the Steelers are meant to have a good defense, and he actually looked competent. The ancillary pieces look good. I mean, Garrett Wilson was great. Breece Hall looks really good. I think Breece Hall being as spry as he was, it surprised me. I was pretty light on Breece Hall. I was, slightly below market on him in BBM and stuff. I think, if Breece Hall in the running game is good, that's just going to make Fields' life a lot easier. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad trade either way for me. It was always the Jets. Dipperino says, I'm telling you, people were panicked because of preseason usage sometimes can be very important, and we should be looking at things. Preseason performance is, to me, irrelevant. I do not care if Joe Burrow looks bad in preseason. That's like utter nonsense. Like, who cares? It's they're like not on the field, or if they're being used in like weird ways consistently when we think they're trying out what they're going to do. Like, that's something to pay attention to. But like Justin Fields throwing incompletions in preseason, we know he throws incompletions. Like, we've seen that in the regular season. Let's make a Saquon team. Let's make a Saquon team and see how we can do. So very heavy running backs here. Again, we're seeing the elite quarterbacks. I think they're going to keep on sliding, as we've noted. Let's see what we can get here. Just for you, Terrence, CD Lamb goes at the 6. Chase Brown goes at the 7. I really like that. I'm going to pass on the elite quarterbacks on this one. I don't think this is like any kind of crazy value. Obviously, if either elite quarterback comes to me at 17, I will jam that in. But I think we're going to see so now we're starting to get into a little bit of a value here with Jamar Chase paired with an elite quarterback, because that looks pretty good for Blank. What are the ADPs on here? Blank. So he gets Lamar. So yeah, so an ADP of 3 or 2.5 and an ADP of 5 on one team. That's going to be somewhat uncommon. If the QBs continue to slide, then it will become less uncommon. But at least for now, that's a pretty nice break for the Chase drafter. But for me, McCaffrey is my 101. Waddle for Judy trade. I'd get Judy and I'd give up Waddle. Man, I would probably take Judy, but I only say that because I think I would probably have done that pre-draft anyway. I started to cool on Waddle quite a bit. The only reason I say no is because if Tyreek gets traded, now there's a little bit of smoke, that's going to be probably pretty bad. So I know I said that. I'd probably hold Waddle because you could end up be selling the generational bottom on Waddle. And if the Dolphins turn it around, one of two things is going to happen. The Dolphins are either going to turn it around and Waddle's going to be fine, or the Dolphins are going to circle the drain and Tyreek's going to be gone, and then Waddle's going to be fine. So for me, both outcomes seem to suggest Waddle's going to be okay. I don't think I want to go Hurts Saquon in this format. I think that's kind of bad. All right, let's take a Neighbors share. Why not? That's my opinion on that. Waddle over Judy for me. No week 1 overreaction. Yeah, I think talking it out that I wouldn't move on from Waddle for Judy. I think I would wait a couple weeks to try to part with Waddle. See where things end up. Travis Kelce goes again. Jalen Hurts is still here. I don't think I want to go Hurts Saquon again. I think that's getting a little silly. I kind of want to scroll for a running back here. All right, let's do an Etienne. Let's do an Etienne team, and then we'll just figure out quarterback. Maybe we'll do a quarterback tight end stack to end this with. So we'll take Travis Etienne. ADP of 32. That means he's not owned in every single contest, but I don't have a quarterback I want. I don't really want Stafford. I don't know who to pair with Neighbors, so that's why we were kind of punting that decision off to us. This guy's going to get a nice value if he decides to take, if he does decide to take Hurts. I just feel like Hurts and Saquon, you need a very specific path to get there in a BR. If this was a small field tournament, if this was the Deposit Kingdom, I absolutely would have taken Hurts there because you only have to beat a couple thousand people or 1,000 people. When you have to beat, how many people are in this contest? 48,000 people. It's going to be very tough to do it with a Saquon Hurts lineup. I think your upside is just too capped to get there in the big main BR. Again, small field, I think that's fine. I'm doing that. Large field, not. A-Chain goes, so that's kind of nice. Let's start thinking about what tight end and quarterback we want here. We've got Etienne, so I don't think I want to make Strange Etienne. I mean, you know, you could do Strange Etienne. T-Law feels a little thin. Feels a little thin to me. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe Hurts is here. Dear God, this is just crazy to me. You know what? All right, we're going to try it. I'm not passing. Well, no, the guy... I'm just going to take Hurts. I'm going to take Hurts, and maybe this is the week that it happens, folks. Maybe this is the week that we get Hurts and Saquon both get home. I know I said in large field this is bad. I probably stepped on the rake, eating the rake, but I ideologically have a really hard time passing on Jalen Hurts at pick 29 here. And maybe this is just the week that those two get home. I don't know. Could be bad. Do I wish I maybe had back the Saquon pick? Sure. If I knew Jalen Hurts was going to be here at pick 29. But let's figure a good tight end. Goddard, you know, if we really want to go, we want to go Eagles onslaught, we could do that. I mean, I think at this point, maybe we lean into a massive Eagles bet. We don't have a bring back, but I think that's fine. This guy's not going to can't take a tight end. So let's just say go fly, Eagles fly. You know, the Eagles put up 50 points. Kansas City puts up 0 because we don't have a KC piece. And we try something a little different here. So we'll take Dallas Goedert. We say go Eagles. I don't recommend a lot of builds like this. I don't think this is the best build for a large field tournament. I think this is more reserved for single entry stuff. But, you know, sometimes you take what the room gives you. Maybe the room gives you a slap in the face, but we'll try that. Let's see where the dog bowl's at. Waiting for 6. Yeah, all right. We're going to run a BR or 2, and then I'll probably get on out of here. Everyone, again, really appreciate the support. If you can, like and sub. It's been so fun hanging out, rolling these BRs with you all. I truly love doing this. Love hanging out with you guys. Happy to take any questions. Sometimes I don't have an answer offhand. I need to kind of talk it out. So I appreciate you all talking out, and the chat wants to chime in with their opinions. They are, of course, more than welcome. We are waiting for one. Let's see what we get here. All right, we are full. Let's see. Let's give us a 101. All right, we got the 4. Beastburf in at the 1. Beastburf in at the 1. Keep the Chief, says GL. Are you in here? Keep the Chief. I thought that was your username. So if you are in here, good luck to you. But if also let me know who you are in the chat. All right, let's see. Waiting for 30 seconds for the draft to start. Try to think of other late things we can do. So we took Etienne. That was getting a little different. I like James Conner. Maybe I want some Breece Hall exposure after being out on him. Maybe try to get that going. Joel says, have a Hurts, Saquon, AJ Brown build this week. Seems super narrow, but Hurts, AJ Brown were good versus relative to ADP, so should be unique. Are you talking in BR or DraftKings? I assume you're talking BR. Yeah, I mean, it is narrow. Like, those onslaughts can get home. Again, I am much more into the onslaughts in like a dog bowl, which is also, you don't have to be as perfect. Large fields, it's not that large of a field. Single entry stuff, I would be more inclined to do that. But I mean, it could ship a BR. it could chip a BR. You just literally need like the Eagles to score 52 points. Like you're drawing to that somewhat narrow path to victory with that. Josh Allen at the 2. That's interesting. So big wide range of outcomes for Allen in these last two. B-Spurf, he does not stray from ADP. He takes Ja'Marr Chase at the 1.1. See what old Miguel does. I would love Lamb or James Conner at the 6. So Miguel is just throwing ADP completely out the window. Let's see what Miguel is concocting over there. Very interesting start from him. Very interesting. I mean, you see people do this, and I think ADP can be tossed out the window at a certain point. I just don't know if round 1 is the time to do it, because James Conner, again, he would be available like in round 4 almost assuredly. He takes Puka, so you know what? He's just fading this upper half of the board. Can't say there's anything wrong with that. I had planned on taking Trey McBride here, but I will not pass on either Lamar or Saquon. So I guess we'll see what we get. I guess I'll see what we get here. CMC again, yeah. Lamar slipping, so let's just do Lamar CMC. Seems kind of nice. Get some, again. I think, did we just see someone get this? So it's not going to be unique, but it should be a little lower owned than some of the other combinatorial pairings that come around. I wonder if Steve Crew was hoping if he would have done Lamar Henry. If not, I mean, B-Spurf could have gotten Lamar all the way at the 1 if I didn't take him, which would have probably be somewhat tough to get. No, that was what it was. It was Chase Lamar. The guy at the 3 got Chase Lamar. So that's what it was. He takes Gibbs. So someone going running back there. Chase Brown, again, one of my favorite clicks. It is funny going back to 30-second clocks. BBM with 20-second clock kind of spoiled us. Yeah, Trey McBride is a great pick because he is the only truly elite tight end. Again, if I don't get McBride, I'm just going to take like a late tight end. The middle tier is like kind of like middling it in my opinion there. So we've got Lamar and CMC. What do we want to do now? BTJ, if we want to just make this the like ADP draft, I'll just take BTJ. Like, I don't know. I'm not super high on BTJ, but again, this is ADP value in BR can be somewhat illusory because it's pretty wide ranging. Like you only need a few people to be out on a guy or be building like locked in on a specific build to get fallers. So they do tend to happen. And I also don't think ADP is super efficient in these. The Jaguars wide receiver too in this economy. Yeah, it could be bad. I mean, we could just be jamming in Ja'Marr Chase Travis Hunter instead, and who is completely free and largely unowned in the contest. Let's see, James Cook. Gosh, I don't like Kyron, but I think he's like perfectly reasonable click, unfortunately. I mentioned Breece Hall. I don't really want Etienne and BTJ on the same team. Chuba Hubbard's fine. I just wish there were more tight end options I could sprinkle in. But if we have to scroll to the depths of Narnia, we will do so. Let's see what Miguel does. Miguel throwing ADP out the window. He's just got a build in mind, or he's just vibing and living life. He takes Justin Fields there. JSN goes. So now what do we want to do? I do like me some James Cook. Let's take James Cook here. B-Spurf has no running backs, so he's going to take at least one. And the other thing is, let's see, I'm imagining B-Spurf takes Burrow, but I mean, my God, Burrow could fall to him at 36, because if Drew B. Hoop does not take naked Burrow and wants to take Dak, if Drew B is locked in Dak, then no one's going to take Burrow, which is like pretty amazing. We'll see if B-Spurf risks it for the biscuit or if he what he does. But very interesting. Again, this is why you got to pay attention to the board. The other issue though is it is also the other thing from B-Spurf is only one person can take a running back. Miguel can only see Drew has 2, I have 2, Steve has 2, Hauser has 2. So he only needs to, if if he's not worried about like running back, only one running back can go. So we'll see what Beastburf does. Again, that's why it pays to pay attention to the board. So he's going to push Burrow. Good luck, Beastburf. Obviously, I want to win BR, but I want to see this happen. If you win a BR in this room, please, donate to your local animal shelter in my name. I would appreciate the shout if you can make that happen. Let's see what the room, however, is bringing to us. What do we need? We need a wide receiver. We need a tight end. T. Higgins is a little bit intriguing. I really like Zay Flowers. So do I want to do naked Allen? Do I want to do Allen? Let's do Higgins. Let's just do a naked QB team. Awesome. You have my word. I will do that, chat. Perfect, Beastburf. Hey, thanks. I look forward to it. I look forward to it. And you don't have to take Burrow if you don't want him to, by the way. You could take whoever you would like. But that was my suspicion on what was going on. Mathology, 4 more for a dog bowl if you have time. All right, Mathology. I'm going to do I want Andrews or do I want naked Lamar and to take like Fannin? I'll buy the Dipperino on him. If not, I'll take Fannin. If not, I'm just going to, for some reason, he can't even take one. So I don't need Kincaid. All right, I'm going to hop in that dog bowl just so it doesn't fire in case. All right, waiting for 2. All right, we'll do the dog bowl. That'll be my last draft, I think. We'll probably call it there. I do have to do a few things today. As much as I would love to just run these deep into the afternoon, I will call it here. So in the ideal world, I guess we get Andrews. If we don't get Andrews, I think that's fine. Andrews only getting 1 catch, pretty bearish in a massive shootout that they were in. So I am alarmed at Mark Andrews, but I'm not in full panic yet. Drew B. Hoopin, he takes Mahomes. Very interesting. So, Beastburf, I feel like you dodged a bullet because I would have said, oh, this guy's just taking Dak. Nope. He takes Mahomes. He doesn't even take Danny Dimes. He just says, I'm going to take an 100% drafted quarterback, but unstacked. So, I don't know what Drew B. Hoop is doing, but hey, I love it. Good luck there, Beastburf. Good luck. I will hop over to the dog bowl there. So Beastburf gets Burrow at pick 32. That's pretty sweet. But you know what? That's why it pays to pay attention to your room. He was able to build the team he wanted. So that is pretty cool there. All right, we're waiting for 1. If anyone wants to hop in a dog bowl, this is it. So again, appreciate y'all hanging out, running some of these. We're on the road to 200 subs. We're on the road to Kansas City. Hopefully we get there. That would be pretty awesome. I've only been to 1 live final in my life. It was the last ever King of the Beach on DraftKings for football. It was incredible. I really want to go to another live final. They are fun. I'd love to see what Underdog puts together because by all accounts, they've done a fantastic job. So hopefully I will see some of you there. And if not, well, there's always next year. But hopefully this is it because we're going to make a serious go at it. I'm not maxing this. I'm going to get between probably 30 and 50 each week is kind of what I've earmarked for the dog bowl budget. So let's see. I'll send out the dog bowl signal. 1 for dog bowl. All right, let's see. 1 for dog bowl. All right. We are still waiting here. So, of course, the dog bowl, 5,208 entrants, and you got to finish in the top 3. If you finish 4th, it is the saddest $1,000 you'll ever win. Big bummer. This is a contest where really, if you don't qualify in a given week, you're going to lose money. It's just the way it goes. I guess you could finish 4th and not lose, but the odds are for most people, this is very boom or bust. This is a very bankroll intensive contest. I I think this is one where you really kind of got to like plan out what do you want to put in each week to try to chase this drag. Beastfurf will join. All right, thanks Beastfurf. You are lucky number 7 in here, so good luck to you. Let's see what we can't do. Another room of killers, but a lot of these are. We got Best Ball Viper at the 2, Mathology at the 6, me, of course, at the 4, Beastfurf at the 7, JGFC at the 8, Mr. Worth at the 9, and Patrick Barnes YouTube at the 12. I don't even know, I don't know the Patrick Barnes lore. Did he make it last year? I almost think Patrick Barnes did make it to the Dog Bowl. I can't remember if he was a finalist or not, but I know he's in a lot of these streamed drafts. So again, Patrick Barnes YouTube, if you're lurking out there, hello to you, good luck to you, and let's see what we can put together here. Oh, he finished 2nd. All right, so there we go. So Patrick Barnes YouTube is another sharp drafter that we are sitting amongst. So Mahomes, Derrick Henry goes. So now the question is do we want to go elite quarterback? Do we want to go... What do we want to do here, folks? Part of me says live my truth. If I think Puka's the wide receiver 1, let's do a Puka team. Let's live a little. Let's kind of flip the board ever so slightly. Let's try to lean on some of our late running back knowledge here. So let's try something a little different. You know what? Maybe we're getting fancy in a very sharp room, but we're gonna try to do something. See what we can see. Vogie Berra finished 7th as well. Dear God. Well, that explains why he didn't let me have Derrick Henry, because I really wanted Derrick Henry at the 3, and I didn't want an elite quarterback on this particular team. Maybe that's gonna burn me, but we will see. Enlightened, says Tioni. I don't know who's enlightened, but I like the idea. Maybe you're just informing us you have reached that plane of enlightenment. You've watched enough best ball streams. You have reached best ball nirvana. But Tioni, thanks. I do appreciate it. So let's see. All right, JGFC, he takes Chase Brown. Beastfurf takes Gibbs. Mathology takes Lamb. All right, Mathology, I love the fact that you're taking a wide receiver early. That makes me feel like not a complete fish trying it. Mr. Worth, he says elite tight end or bust. He takes McBride at the 9. Best Ball Viper, of course, taking CMC at the 2. The slappy Sarmsa is eternal. Yes. To slap is to suffer. That's what we must understand. Puka at 104 can break the suffering. Well, they say Kansas City is the best place to end a cycle of suffering. I have that on good authority. So Lamar at 10, Lamar Jackson at 10. So that's not surprising. I think we're going to see that in dog bowls. Patrick Barnes YouTube is going to get the chance, if he wants to go elite quarterback, to start a Josh Allen team. We'll see if that's what he takes up. Sorry, I need a little coffee there. Again, we don't get coffee pours on this channel. There's no room in the budget. We do have McDonald's coffee shakes. Best I can do, folks. Best I can do. Let's see what Patrick Barnes YouTube does. Yeah, Greg, Tony knows. So Patrick Barnes YouTube does take Josh Allen after using the entire clock to do so. Is he here? Did he join us draft hours ago in his auto drafting? Let's see. Let's see if he is or not. Again, the 30-second clocks, man, it is tough to go back to, but I don't mind them. Sometimes in BRs, it's not just like in BBMs where we literally could have drafted like with our eyes closed. So he takes A-Chain before the end of time. So he is not auto drafting. He was just deep in thought of visioning the future. So, but yeah, I think 20 seconds when you do have to make a few more snap decisions. In BBM, it did feel like you were kind of on autopilot sometimes, especially after you've done 1,000 drafts. You kind of know where they are. In these BRs, you got to be kind of on your toes. You can get some unexpected stuff. You're trying to build weird stacks. Your ADP is much less of a guiding light than it is in BR. We can try to reach for stacks. We throw ADP completely out the window earlier than we do in BR, at least relative to the end of the draft. So Let's see. JGFC. Who does he add to Chase Brown? So J-Dubs, he gets McBride, Jonathan Taylor. I like that start. Let's start thinking about who we're going to take. 4 picks to us. I see 4 running backs I like, which makes me happy because I am apt to take one of these running backs. I think it's getting a little cute for me to go wide receiver. It is interesting to see Hubbard this high because he goes undrafted in the 6-man BRs. I do like Chuba Hubbard. I think he's a good click. I don't know if I'm going to click him at 21, but it's just something to note that that's one of those picks that, again, we're praying to get a guy like Chuba in this draft, and we are leaving him on the wire in the others. So let's see what CR Blake does. I almost feel like I would go Hubbard if Connor goes. James Conner would be my selection here. I think it's way too cute to do something like Burrow or Higgins here. I just think this is where you take your running back du jour and move on. Again, Carolina. Yeah, let's just take Connor. I think Chuba's fine, but Etienne looked like Barry Sanders against Carolina. I'm willing to take that shot on Connor there. The question will be, do we go running back here, or do we try to lock up another wide receiver? Interesting choice. I don't think I'd want to do anything like Kyler Connor. I think that's getting a little too clever. I don't think I want to go MHJ Connor. I think that's, again, I think it's something you could do in dog bowls, but I don't think that's what I want to do on this particular team. I could take Garrett Wilson and hope that Fields comes around, but then we're dodging a lot of people who could take naked Fields, and that might not even be what you need at the end of the day. We're not going to take Tyreek here. Just spoilers. We're not going to do that. Let's see what Best Ball Viper. He takes JSN. JSN was on the short list of guys I was going to consider. Amon Ra was kind of the next guy on the short list. I don't mind going Pollard here. I feel like that's fine. We do have Puka. I don't know if this is like my favorite game environment to stack, but I feel like I can figure out late wide receiver. So let's do Tony Pollard. I don't mind him. Kind of dominated the touches. He did fumble, but if Joey Chestnut beats me, I don't believe his first name's Joey, but if Chestnut beats me, I'm in big trouble. Anyway, Etienne would have been clickable. It's possible I'll regret that click and would have wished I would have taken one of these wide receivers. And then, if I got like a Travion or a Etienne, but yeah, I feel like that's, to me, Pollard's kind of the last of a tier there. Greg says, Giants Cowboys feels like it's flying under the radar. Pickens deep ball was close week 1. Yeah, no, Pickens was on the short list for me. If he comes back, I'd probably take him. I'd be very surprised if he did. There's a lot of guys that need a lot of wide receiver help on their team. Interesting to see kind of the dichotomy over here. Very running back heavy on the left side, very quarterback heavy on the right. Let's check in on what our friends and family are doing. So Best Ball Viper goes CMC, Breece Hall, JSN. Mathology goes Lamb, Cook, Garrett Wilson. So we'll see if Mathology's setting up a possible Fields team or if he's passing on that. I do like Garrett Wilson, but he's hard for me to take if I'm not sure I'm going to get Fields. I don't know why. Maybe that's a leak, but I do feel like that's one of those pairings I'd rather have stacked than not. But obviously, there is a world where if Garrett Wilson really gets there, it's because Fields kind of functioned as a traditional pocket passer and could be outscored by somebody else. So if you get a true nuclear Garrett Wilson game, again, that might be a game where Fields doesn't score a rushing touchdown, and then you're just kind of, have a pocket passer with a few rushing yards, and you can overcome that. So I do think there's a path for Garrett Wilson's success even without Fields. So I need to be more woke to doing that. JGFC, he goes Chase Brown, Kyron, Pickens. So Pickens goes off the board way before any hope of a wraparound. J-Dubs, he takes McBride, Taylor, Sutton. Those picks all perfectly make sense. Patrick Barnes, YouTube, goes Allen A-Chain, Devontae Adams, and let's see who he takes next. Let's see who he takes next there. Does he take another running back? Running backs got pretty thin. We'll see if he takes one. He takes DK Metcalf. All right, so I like Metcalf. I mentioned that before. Travion Henderson is gone. So running back has gotten thin, but a lot of people already have two over here on the left side of the board. Vogie, the 7th place finisher in the Dog Bowl, he's got Henry, Kamara, and Amon-Ra. So just a generally strong start to a team there. For me, quarterback options are a little bit dicey. They're a little bit dicey right now because I just don't like Stafford. So we're going to see what we can put up. Buster's boy, he takes the possibility of a Tyreek team off of the table. J-Dubs, he gets his stack. McMillan goes. McMillan is, again, who I was like semi-eyeing. I have an idea. It might just be giga ass. It might just be terrible. I don't know. No, I think it's terrible. All right. Let's just do DJ Moore. I mean, no, we're going to do the giga ass idea. We're going to live. Nobody can stop us. We're going to do Calvin Ridley. And we are going to bet on the Tennessee footballing Titans. This could be god awful. This could really be god awful, folks. But we are going to make a bet on Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans on this team. Did Cam Ward look great week 1? No. Did he overthrow Ridley a few times? Yes. Did Ridley kind of quit on a couple routes? Yes. But I don't know. I'm a little concerned because the Rams defense looked pretty good, but I'm willing to say that the Texans O-line is god awful. But I do think that a Titans overstack is going to be super rare in the Dog Bowl. And it's also probably super rare because it's really bad. But if the Titans do smash, I mean, maybe we're going to Kansas City. So we're going to try something here. Again, do not try this at home. Do not blame me if you do this and it goes wrong and you don't go to Kansas City and the only place you go to is the deposit button. But we're going to try something. We're going to try something a little different here in these streets. So my only question is I gotta think I can push Cam Ward, but the question is what tight end is worth that? What tight end is worth possibly losing this stack over? Because if we don't get the stack, we're just in ruins. But my God. I mean, who reasonably could take Ward? I'm dodging JGFC, who I know is a rational actor. CR Blake. I'm only worried about CR Blake because they don't have a stacking partner, so they're live to take anybody. I'm sorry, I'm thinking, guys. All right, we're gonna live our truth. We're gonna make the Fannin bet. I am going to make the Fannin bet. If Ward goes unstacked ahead of a lot of much better quarterbacks than I okay, so he takes Drake May. That's perfect. So assuming that JGFC doesn't do anything weird, we are going to get this this game stack that I just don't think is going to be popular whatsoever. Could I have taken Juwan Johnson to go against Connor? Sure, but I do think my late round fun tight end is Fannin. And so I'm going to live that. I'm going to live that slappy truth. There is a chance that Cleveland gets just pounded by Baltimore, and we do see. I think if that game gets out of hand, we're going to see a lot of Fannin, because we saw a lot of Fannin even with with the game not out of hand in a close game. So let's see. JGFC takes Hunter Henry. I wonder if the Drake May drafter was hoping to take Henry. That is kind of funny, but people are so anti-Dolphins that it's not surprising. And so we'll start recapping some of the teams of the players who we know are better than us. B-Spurf, he takes DJ Moore. So I was definitely considering DJ Moore here instead of Ridley. So I do appreciate B-Spurf taking Moore. I think Moore going to slate is a little bit silly, especially against Detroit. Like their defense, I don't think is very good in Detroit in a dome. I like the DJ Moore bet, getting a little bit of rushing work. That's fine. But again, we're trying to build something that is just not going to be done, and hopefully a Titans overstack is that. Again, this is probably going to be a lineup so far to the left of the slider that we just don't even see it. But maybe not. Maybe the Titans at home turn it around. All right, so this draft is grinding up. We've got Patrick Barnes YouTube. He ends it with Brenton Strange. All right, good late round to tight end click. And does he take a running back or a wide receiver? Let's see. Whatever he does, he's not doing it quickly. So while we're waiting for Patrick Barnes YouTube, if you can like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. This will be the last one. We'll get on out of here. I do appreciate everyone's support. I've had such a fun stream with you guys. I will. Yes, FK Course. That Phantom pick was so left-wing slacky. It comes with a Che Guevara poster. Yeah, it might be too cute. I mean, is it too cute taking Fannin ahead of Goddard? Yeah, but it's the Fannin bet, man. It's the Fannin bet. I mean, the drum beat is so loud that this seal is no longer just blind. This seal is deaf. This seal can't hear anything. So we're just out there. We're hunting by smell. We're trying to use echolocation like some kind of seal dolphin hybrid. So you know what? We're trying stuff. Patrick Barr YouTubes, he takes J.K. Dobbins with his last pick. I think that's perfectly reasonable there. Perfectly reasonable. Chris Olave goes. That's a name I have not seen go in this contest. Buster Boys, he says, I am General Franco. I am so far to the right. So he takes Njoku, which is the yin to the Fannin Yang. J-Dubs, Mr. Worth, he takes David Montgomery. Perfectly cromulent running back selections. JGFC does the rational thing, which I thought he was going to do, which was take Dak Prescott. So we will guarantee we get Cam Ward because these three have quarterbacks. B-Spurf. Let's see who B-Spurf's late round du jour. He goes Kansas City double. So you have B-Spurf. See, this is what you guys should be doing when you watch my stream. B-Spurf knows what he's doing. He's got Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hollywood Brown. And I have Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, and Cam Ward. Which stack is better, folks? Which stack is better? Well, you know what? That's why we're here. That's why we're here to see what the best and brightest are doing. Well, meanwhile, while we do the Cam Ward stack, but in all seriousness, I do think sometimes doing these stacks that are going to be unowned makes sense in this kind of contest because it only really takes one. Like, how many Cam Ward doubles are there going to be? Like, there's just not going to be a lot. If that game somehow shoots out, we're going to be one of the few to have it. So this team ends up being Puka and Ridley at receiver, Connor and Pollard at running back, Fannin at tight end, and Cam Ward, of course, stacked with Ridley and Tony Pollard. So go Titans this week. We are just trying to suck up to David Kitchen. Maybe he'll notice us. Maybe he'll tune in one day. But until then, maybe we win the dog bowl with a Titans stack. We can get his attention there. Going over a few other notable teams' names. Vogie Berra, he goes Henry, Kamara, and then St. Brown, Laporta, Waddle, and Goff. So he goes with a Detroit double. So again, you see double stacking as a little more, some of the better players in these dog bowls, they're double stacking. Something that's better in a dog bowl where you only have to beat 5,000 teams than in a main BR where you have to beat 47,000. You've really got to be perfect in those contests. So I think you can double in those, but I think it's a little tougher. It sometimes is a little bit tougher there than in the dog bowl. Best Ball Viper. So he takes a low-owned Sam Darnold to pair with JSN. He's also got CMC, Breece Hall, and then JMO and Warren. I think I went over Mythology's team. He goes CD Lamb, James Cook, Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields. So he is able to get the Fields, Wilson battery. I missed that during the draft. He takes Swift at 54. Again, I think Swift at 54, pretty nice. And Juwan Johnson there. Dave M. Hey, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, Dave. Fannin to the moon. Hey, I hope so, because I have him in this dog bowl team. Beast Burf doesn't hate it. You and Kitchen might be the only ones. Yes. Yeah, me and Kitchen. We're gonna be there in the dog bowl streets. But yeah, no, I mean, if I'm not trying to just vaporize money, like I wouldn't do this if I thought it was objectively terrible. But it's certainly, feels a lot nicer to have a Patrick Mahomes stack than a Cam Ward stack. But everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. I had so much fun. I will see you in the BR streets, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, 8:30 a.m. Appreciate all your support, and take care, everyone.